Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back. My voice had time to heal. I was getting a little raspy. Took a break. And away we go. Alright. Hug who you hate. Professor Junkins. Will impact your life. Some real lifetime advice. Ew. Okay. Anyways, you arrive at the plaza in front of one of the 9 Warhol buildings. One consisting of auditoriums for speeches, rallies, and music. The scene you see is far from harmonious, however. Almost everywhere you look, there's chaos as citizens are run in every direction, squeezing almost everything in sight. You see citizens in a taxi rank sprawled over the vehicles, and nearby set of traffic lights are bending dangerously low underneath the weight of a dozen or so citizens. This crazed mob shows no signs of stopping. Several robots are attempting to escape their embrace. Hug who you hate. Okay. I embrace with a number of vagrants are trying to stagger away. This crowd is over-affectionate and deranged citizens show no sign of calming down. You can contact Control to see if this could be related to anything currently running in Warhol. You can try and use the side division. Has any information on paranormal investigate, use this. Turn it. If you confront the crowd, ordering them to disperse. If you wish to get closer and try to see if there are any clues to the reason behind the strange behavior. But it begins what? My dog is being needy today. Oh, she's being needy every day. It's not right. Let's get closer. You sneak forward trying to see what is going on. Citizens have caused significant damage to public property, and at least one vagrant appears badly hurt or even killed. I don't know why that's funny, but I'm laughing. The mob's crazy behavior will inevitably cause more casualties if it continues. Close to you at the edge of a crowd is a trio of juvies crying out, squashed beneath 24 pairs of arms. When you see a series of posters, today, as part of a 2-week series of talks on how to improve your life, feel better, we are pleased to present Hug Who You Hate. Hug Who You Hate is a talk on personal happiness by Professor Stanley Markley, the renowned personal guru. Oh Lord, personal gurus. It is unlikely that Markley foresaw the current situation. You would, however, like to have a word with the good professor once the current madness is dealt. You can confront the crowd and order them to disperse. If you wish to call a riot, control support instead. Finally, you can move in and start to calm down hard. Plenty hard biking. I'm recording, okay. A lot of braking by turn. Let's bring down the crowd. You pull your day stick out with one hand and hold up your lawgiver in the other. You stride into the crowd of citizens. One citizen looks up and starts to move towards you, but you bring him down with a well-placed blow to the gut. You deal with the next 2 citizens in a similar manner, dealing out blows to the head and jaw. A group of 5 tries to swarm you, and you manage to bring down the first 2 with well-placed shots to the knees. Oh, while another loses his teeth. Tear gun butt. I don't know why I find this so hilarious. The other 2 are quickly knocked down by heavy blows from your day stick. They keep coming, but they keep coming. You are pushed back. As the numbers are overwhelming. You take 2 vitality damage from the mob. If you wish to continue dishing out your brand of crowd control, we're not running for it. We are going to take a med kit, though. Continue dishing out the punishment. The mob continues to surge forward. It is almost impossible to stand your feet due to the press, and you begin to tire, your arms aching from the onslaught. I am Judge Dredd. I don't get tired. Damn straight. No problem. For every one of the crazy citizens you bring down, another instantly takes their place. You somehow manage to stand your feet, continue to fight despite your desperate situation. You suffer 3 vitality. If you're still standing and you continue to fight, At least the mob breaks, unable to take any more punishment. At last the mob breaks, unable to take any more punishment. All around you are dead and disabled citizens. Some surrender meekly, and some flee down side alleys as other judges finally arrive and chase them down. Relative quiet descends out on the plaza, but bodies and damaged property are scattered all over. You question the prisoners and discover they were told to hug what they hated at the presentation they were attending. It would explain why the mob, almost to a person, ignored everything else when you arrived. With the scene under control, you search for the good professor giving the talk. You find him among the dead, crushed like most of the victims of the mob. You trace the culprits and ask why they would hug him to death. We hate people who tell us what to do, they reply. What isn't that? Okay, whatever. That's not. You sentence the surviving person to determine the psycho cubes. Perhaps the Sphinx will be able to explain what exactly happened here, then why. Although you doubt it. Okay. Hello, robot lady? Your backup units refill your ammunition and med judges tend to your injuries before you ride off to continue your patrol. Oh yeah. Just kind of what I need to write about now. Hot diggity. Hot diggity damn. Wait, our authority dropped down? Whatever. It is not long before Control reports an incident for you to attend. A road traffic accident on George Formby Way. Spotted by a roving eye in the sky camera. George Formby is a fairly quiet road, and as you approach the scene, it's clear the accident is a bad one. A yellow car has collided at full speed with the fortunately reinforced wall of an adjacent building. A small hover car has pulled up behind the accident and appears to be the driver, a woman in a hover chair, has got out and is looking at the wreckage. She turns and begins waving at you friendly. Judge, I heard shots and saw this red roadster zoom off. I don't think this is an accident. She points in the direction of a roadster, the spirit tube. If you immediately race in an attempt to follow the roadster, you can also contact Control and see if there are alternatives if you wish to examine the wreckage. Finally, you can question them to see what else she knows. See what else she knows. You begin to question no one about the accident. She appears confused as to why you're not chasing after the gunman's vehicle, but something about the switch is not quite right. Suddenly you are sprayed with some gas emitted from one of the hover chair's armrests. You stagger backwards, see the woman swiftly re-enter her vehicle while you're gasping for air, and speed down the Medway. If you pull down your respirator, if you hold Control, comment to Lawgiving and take off in pursuit. Respirator. Your quick thinking reduces the amount of gas you have inhaled, but you're still a little shaken by its effects. You suffer 2 vitality. If you manage to withstand damage, you get confirmation on the perp's location from Control and push your bike to its uppermost limits. Were you able to pick up a newly serviced Lawmaster earlier today? Oh yeah. Okay, yep, this is a thing that would only happen in Judge Dredd. A lady in a super power chair with a machine gun. And yeah. You begin to pursue her, being the closest judge to her location. With your siren blaring to make normal traffic pull aside, you have no hope of taking the perp by surprise. When you do come close, you see a weapon has emerged from the roof of her hover car. It emits a steady stream of fire, and you engage it with your bike cannon. Oh Lord. Oh no, I ain't judged it. Well, not really, but I need to it. Time for a Lawmaster roll. Yeah. Oh, barely. The hover car swerves back and forth across the map as you attempt to get your cannon on target. A stray shot from the perp's gun strikes your shoulder and you lose 6 vitality. Oh shit. We managed to withstand the damage though. Clutching the wound, you slow the bike down momentarily as you gather yourself, for getting back up to speed. Nothing stops Judge Dredd. Your sirens continue to sound as you weave in and out of traffic. The hover car is erratic and obviously panicked as it nearly collides with a number of vehicles. As you pull up closer, the weapon again becomes visible and shots ring out. With your bike cannon yet again in action, it's time for another showdown. Yeah. The cannon fire on the car causes the hover engine to fail, and it crashes to the ground, tumbling over and over. You see debris fly off in every direction, and the driver is thrown from the vehicle. Other judges arrive on the scene, but it is obvious that the purpose paid for crimes with her life. As the road is closed down, you investigate the scene further. It appears the woman, one Jenny Thornwinkle, was involved in a roadside accident a couple years ago and suffered horrendous injuries. The other driver involved in that collision was never identified, although it was thought Thornwinkle might have known about the crash that she ever let on. It appears she has been preying on other vehicles in the sector ever since. The quality of her weapons installed on her vehicle is particular. It is of worryingly high standard. You inform control of what you know, and they direct you to spend your patrol and investigate Thornwinkle more thoroughly. It is obvious she has ties to an illegal arms supplier somewhere, and her death may lead to other serious criminals being brought to justice. Thornwinkle has an apartment in nearby Jeff Bridges' block, and a lock-up garage in the block's sub-basement. If you investigate the apartment, check out her locked up inside. Let's investigate what she's hiding. You lead a team of judges to a garage, a double-sized affair, and break the lock. Inside you find a high-end robot, which presumably worked on Thornwinkle's hover car. It is a primitive mute model and is useless for interrogation purposes. The garage itself is largely used as storage. The front half, the only portion visible with the doors open. It is a fairly standard affair with nothing suspicious in it. The right portion of the garage is separated by a thin partition wall. Pushing your way through the door, you discover a treasure trove of ammunition and spare parts for various weapons. As the tech judges sift through the evidence, they find a solitary clue, a fingerprint on one of the rounds of ammunition. It belongs to one Rennie O'Reilly, a convicted minor felon with some ties to a local mob. Oh, Rennie. Rennie works at Honest Joe's Repairs, an auto repair shop within the sector. The place is owned by suspected mobster Harry Cajones. Ha ha ha, very cute. Harry Balls. Harry Cajones. Okay. Harry Cajones is believed to be a middle-level member of the local organized crime outfit. You can make a visit to Rennie's. Alternatively, you can go to his apartment. Finally, you can visit to his boss at the pawn shop. Let's go visit Rennie, shall we? Leaving the other judges behind to continue investigating Thornwinkle's lockup, you head off to the repair shop. Honest Joe's does have a good reputation for quality work and has not had any negative dealings with the Justice Department in the past. It's probably due to the owners wanting to ensure that judges don't end up snooping around for relatively minor infractions. It's a place where vehicles could have weaponry added. It could be a very important part of the local mob. The place itself certainly does not look out of the ordinary, and you get off your bike to approach on foot. A couple of mechanics look in your direction before getting back to work on the engine of a family car. From his file, you recognize Rennie O'Reilly as one of them. You question O'Reilly immediately. Talk to his... yeah, I feel like he'll escape. Let's talk to it. You know what? We're good. You approach O'Reilly. He looks nonchalant at you as you begin to ask questions. This soon changes when you mention his fingerprints on the ammunition in Thornwinkle's garage. He looks dumbstruck for a moment while this information sinks in, and you cuff him. You sense the movement behind you rather than you see it in turn, narrowing, avoiding the heavy blow from a wrench. Two of the mechanics are retaliating in response to your arrest of their comrade. You must overcome their resistance. Ooh, bad move. Just 1 damage. Is it? Oh. Come on. Come on. God damn it, come on. Seriously killed by a fucking mechanic. Seriously. The burly mechanics pummel you with whatever heavy tools are at hand. You're unable to halt the onslaught and go down under a hail of blows. Something heavy and metallic bludgeons you at the base of your skull, and you are knocked out, semi-unconscious. You are vaguely aware of being thrown into the trunk of a car, and see the blurry image of a man standing over you. With a gun in his hand is the last thing you see. La poop. Welcome to this Mega City News newsflash. Sector 106 is no more. This is after a nuclear device went off in the heart of the sector, killing hundreds of thousands of citizens. The most notable figure to have died is the legendary lawman Judge Dredd. This towering figure has been the top law enforcement official for many decades, and will also be a grave one for the Justice Department. Chief Justice Dan Francisco has led the tribute to this man. He who was remarked has saved this city countless times. It is inevitable that he would go out with a bang. Join us at 10 for the full news update and a look at the life and achievements of Judge Dredd. We now return you to a regularly scheduled programming. Das Boot. Alright, boys and girls, that will do it. Thank you for watching and listening. This has been Judge Dredd, Countdown Sector 106. Screen Raven signing off. There will be more visual novels to come in the future. Oh yes, yes.